On stage 2 of our full HND in interior design course, you'll have a number of project options. You'll be able to choose residential or commercial interior design projects so that you're building a portfolio that's most relevant to the area of design you want to work in. In this video, we're going to look at part of one student's portfolio that shows a commercial interior design project, and they chose the option of a restaurant. There is another video in this prospectus that shows an example of a residential project and what you can expect to achieve by the end of the HNC in interior design, which is also stage 1 of the full HND program. If you haven't watched that video yet, I'd recommend you do so first because it also explains what a portfolio is and why you need it. You'll find a link to the page that video is on immediately below this video, and it's the best place to start, so go there first if you haven't seen it and then come back to this one. We put a lot of emphasis on our students' portfolios because this is how you demonstrate your skills and your ability as an interior designer, and it's your key to success in the interior design industry. On stage 1 of the HND, you'll complete 2 comprehensive interior design projects, and in stage 2, you'll complete an additional 2 complete interior design projects. This will give you a really good body of work so you can create a really strong portfolio, and there is no other online interior design course that I know of that will help you to create such a strong portfolio. When it comes down to it, accredited academic qualifications are essential, but they are only the starting point. It's the quality of your portfolio that will determine whether or not you get work, and our students are fully prepared to hit the ground running. I've used this particular slide because a strong portfolio is the best business card you could ever ask for. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about. This project is from a student named Jana Novakova, and it's for a restaurant design. Jana also gave us a lovely testimonial which you can see here, and she's already building a successful career in interior design. If you choose this project, we'll provide you with a plan of a concrete shell, and this is commonly known as a green building. You'll then use that to design the entire interior layout from scratch. So you'll design the position and the construction of walls and partitions, floors and ceilings, and all of the services that a building needs to function properly, such as plumbing and electrics. You'll learn how to do all of this on stage 2 of our HND course. At the beginning of any interior design project, you'll always evaluate the client and their requirements, which in this case is a restaurant owner. You'll create your own client profile and the type of food that will be offered. Jana has chosen to create an Oriental Asian restaurant. She has not restricted it to Chinese or Thai, and we can see here that Jane has conducted research to support her decisions. This is very important when you're designing for commercial clients. In addition to designing the interior, you'll come up with your own branding and analysis of the target market that you're appealing to, because you'll use this information to help you develop an appropriate interior design concept. You can see here that the logo and branding Jana has developed is based on the serpent, which she explains is a symbol of health in the Orient. It's a strong design concept and brand. Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese art and philosophy that focuses primarily on the placement of things in our environment and also colors. The basic principle of Feng Shui is that when your environment is designed correctly, it allows energy to flow and positively influences your health and your wealth. Now, you may or may not buy into this, but Jana has conducted some Feng Shui research and used this to develop her overall design concept. And she's even provided a couple of color options based on Feng Shui principles. As this is an Oriental restaurant, it's a nice touch, and it demonstrates that she's really thinking about the client and the type of things that might be important to them. Let's take a look at the floor plan. One of the challenges of restaurant design is trying to fit as much seating as possible, because this will affect the business owner's profits. But obviously you don't want the interior to look cramped or like a fast food restaurant, and getting the balance right takes some very careful planning. Jane has made great use of the space, and she's also included 3D views to show how it will look. This type of drawing is called an axonometric, and it's actually relatively easy to produce. You'll learn how to produce detailed 3D drawings in stage 2 of the HND course. The bar area is a place for clients to sit while they're waiting for the table, and it's a very important design feature as it usually provides a focal point. Here we can see that Jane has created 3D views of this area, and she's produced drawings by hand which she has rendered, and computer-generated drawings. Both of these help to visually communicate the end result, so the client can see exactly what it is they're buying into. Here is a Move concept board specifically showing the finishes and materials used in the bar area, And here we can see some of the additional drawings and specifications that would enable contractors to build and install these bespoke features. Jana has designed an elevated dining area behind the bar, which has a raised floor, and she's also designed a wardrobe area near the entrance. She's used dark wooden slats of wood to define these areas, and they tie in beautifully with the interior design concept. And because they're open rather than a solid wall or partition, they allow light to travel, so customers won't feel as if they're being boxed in. In this design, Jane has been able to include the maximum number of seating permitted in this restaurant, but she's designed a variety of bespoke room dividers or partitions to create a sense of privacy between the different areas. We can see here a private dining area, and once again there are additional drawings and specifications detailing exactly how these should be fabricated and installed. Jana has also designed integrated lighting in these partitions to create a feeling of spaciousness, and each detail of this design has been very carefully thought through. There are a number of written specifications included with this project, but I'm only showing you a selection of the most visual details to illustrate the overall design and I hope to inspire you. If I had to summarize the main difference between stage 1 and stage 2 of our HND into one sentence, it's that the level of design detail and planning required is much more in-depth in stage 2. In this stage of the course, you'll learn how to work with a variety of raw materials and create bespoke design features from materials like natural stone, metals and plastics. So you need to know how to use these materials appropriately and how to create very detailed instructions, which we call specifications, so the various tradespeople and contractors can execute your design. That's the reason for all of these detailed drawings. Also, if you're ever involved in making structural changes to a building, part of the process will also be to identify any applicable building codes and ensure that your designs comply with them. Commercial buildings will always have specific rules and regulations that govern the layout and the type of finishes you use. For example, you'll need to include fire doors in some commercial spaces, and your specifications should be detailed enough to submit to the planning authorities for approval if it's needed. The exterior of a building is also subject to planning and building regulations, and you'll explore these as part of the course. Obviously, there's no point in creating a stunning design if it doesn't meet the building codes, because it won't be approved. I'm sure you can see that each detail in this project has been carefully illustrated for the clients, contractors, and the planning office to ensure that nothing gets in the way of implementing this design once the job does get underway. Planning offices are not concerned with aesthetics because it's only about compliance, so the drawings for them and for some of the contractors are much more basic and a little boring to look at, but they clearly indicate how all the structural elements will be built and how the building services will be integrated, like plumbing, HVAC, which stands for heating, ventilation and air conditioning, and lighting. Lighting can make or break an interior design scheme, but we won't cover this until stage 2 of the full HND course, because good lighting design usually involves some degree of structural building work, so you can hide cables and wires. Generally speaking, most people are not prepared to go through the inconvenience and expense of making structural changes to a building just for lighting. But when you're remodeling an interior, that's the perfect time to do this. So you'll learn how to design lighting schemes in stage 2 and how to create reflected ceiling plans that show how light should be positioned and wired, etc. I'm getting close to the end of this project now, and here you can see that even ancillary areas like the toilets have been carefully planned and thought through, because you want to make the best use of the available space and ensure that you create a complete experience for the customer by developing a design that's congruent throughout the entire interior. Project management also plays a very important role in interior design at this level, and you'll also learn how to create work schedules because you need to plan and coordinate all of the various contractors. Every day that work is being carried out is a day that commercial clients are losing money because they can't do business, and residential clients have to live somewhere else. So it's vital that you organise your contractors so they can execute their work in a logical and efficient manner. You'll also learn how to create budgets step by step. We'll teach you how to create budgets in stage 1 of this course, but when you're working with big projects, you'll often find that clients have no idea of the costs. So you need a way to work out a reasonably accurate preliminary budget before you invest a lot of time in planning. Not sticking to a budget is one of the biggest reasons for interior design project failures, and you cannot afford to get this wrong. We guide you step by step through this entire process, and we give you some insights so that you can avoid some of the costly mistakes most novice interior designers will make. I just wish I had this knowledge and information when I was starting my interior design career, and for that reason I think this lesson alone is worth the price of the entire course. Here's a final overview of the design concept, and as I said, I've only included the highlights of this project, which is actually about 130 pages long. I think it's enough to show you clearly how Stage 2 of our HND course builds on the foundation that you've already achieved in the first stage. As I said at the beginning of this video, there are 2 significant interior design projects in this stage of the course, and you'll be able to choose between residential and commercial interior design projects. By the time you reach the end of our full HND in interior design and interior architecture, you'll have the skills and knowledge needed to completely renovate and remodel interior spaces, or to take an empty shell and turn it into a home, an office, or a restaurant, as we've seen here. If you are seriously thinking about this course, I'd encourage you to attend one of our live webinars. They are quite long, but it gives me the opportunity to show you how we can help you make that journey from a complete beginner to a designer of this caliber. I do try my best to keep the webinars to about an hour and a half, but more often than not they go on for 2 hours. But if you do want to enroll on a course like this, I think you really need to invest that time so you can judge exactly how the course works and whether or not it's right for you. I'll also show you some more students' portfolios on the webinar so you can see that these are not just one-offs I'm showing you. There are some really good interior design courses around, but so far I have not come across any other online interior design course that consistently helps their students to achieve results like this. And most of those courses are at least double the price of ours, and some are even 10 times the price. Consistency is really important because there are some people who excel at anything, and most courses should be able to produce 1 or 2 good examples of work. But when you're choosing a course, you want to see a good, strong track record and lots of examples of quality portfolios. So I do hope that you've been inspired and that you'll join me in a live webinar so I can show you exactly how we can help you to get to this level. You'll find a link to register at the bottom of this page, and I hope to catch up with you there.